removed all my crap and I haven't set up my camera yet.
Darth Sam.
Yeah. Oh, I got some. You know what? I forgot that we use this, and I was sitting on Werribee for like 20 minutes. I was like, where are they?
Yeah, we ditched them once they started making us pay.
Oh, really? They did?
Yeah, they put a time limit on, and then they wanted us to pay to take the time limit off. It was like 45 minutes or some shit like that. It was like not conducive to what we do.
There's something I have to show you guys. It's fucking hilarious. But I want to do it on the show though. But it's just like I hope they have this one on the. There's a commercial that plays like when I watch ESPN or SportsCenter or whatever. It's a local commercial, but it's just fucking. There's one thing about this commercial that makes me just fucking die. Wait, let me see. This is it. Hang on 1 second. Come on. Okay, that's not it.
You got to fix the screen there, dog.
I know. I
mean, he doesn't necessarily have. He don't have his videos, so like. You can cut him out the picture and put us up there. Fuck it, cut him out the picture. He got a camera on anyway. There we go.
Looking for this commercial thing. Now, Scar, you remember a long time ago. I don't know if can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember like back in the late '90s or so. They used to have like these. Chase, you can not be in this commercial. This hasn't. You have no interest in this.
Chase was alive in the late '90s.
No, he was, but he didn't watch what we watch. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Chase was probably still watching cartoons in the late '90s.
He wasn't watching the programs that we were watching. So late night.
He wasn't watching TV shows. He was watching Dragon Ball Z a lot.
Take a look. It's in a book. It's reading Rainbow. That's what Chase was watching. Yeah. So like back in the day, in the late '90s, it was like hip hop show. The TV shows, the video shows would come on at night. I don't know if they had that in Virginia or not. Pretty sure they did. Okay. So they would often have commercials for like grown folk nightclubs, like for people like in their 40s and 50s.
Okay.
Like AKA for the grown and sexy. So there's a local place like that here, and they show commercials during SportsCenter. And there's this one thing there's two things about it. One, there's a dude in there dressed like Mr. T.
Mr. T.
There's another one where like I gotta show this to you because you got to see it, but I can't find that specific one.
Man, you might as well just say hold off on that shit and just put it in the fucking just a regular ass Discord later when you find it.
Yeah, but I'll tell you about it when the show begins. But it's just like you got to see it though, because like there's just
if we have to see it and you can't find it, why are we talking about this?
No, I'm telling you that's why I gotta find it. Because like you got to see it because there's no way to describe it properly. But go ahead.
All right, y'all ready?
Yeah.
Good evening, ladies and gents. This is Scarcasm. We are back with our motherfucker. I was trying to be nice. Motherfucker.
I got this bubbly and it just came up, man. I'm sorry.
Motherfucker. Yeah, this is Scarcasm. Chase just ruined my intro. I was trying to be like very kind of like easy listening for the intro at least.
Right.
While I tell you about a very embarrassing moment I had yesterday. But we're in the building. Yeah, you can, I'll do some of the deets. You can find the show on geeksummary.com. Anywhere that you find
for now.
Because I actually paid for the domain for another year. I don't know if I'm gonna pay for it for another fucking year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, who uses websites these days? That's my only thing. Like, do any of y'all go to your favorite podcast website? Anybody?
I would see a website being a thing if we were really doing some serious advertising, to where we even had physical media, like we put flyers up and it had like a one of those things that you scan or whatnot, and that would go to the website and then they would find everything there. But we're not that big yet. And
you know what? It's bad because we could be that big, but like none of us are really trying that hard. I thought at the very least, one thing that I know that I should do, and I never do this these days, but like tweeting the show out. And like Rashani has this service that he uses, and he pays them a little bit of money and they just do automatically retweet the show a lot, and they tweet it under their profile, but then they tag all of us in it, so we can share and do all of that kind of stuff. I was thinking about possibly doing something like that. It's just right now it's more about the money part, and I just pay my rent and my light bill, so fun times for me. So we really, I think really having someone, and I thought about this a long time ago, having someone kind of push the show on social media so like more people can find us and all of that kind of stuff seemed like a better idea than to just do the show, put it out there once, and then just let the shit ride like we normally do.
Just hope that someone listens, right?
Yeah, I mean, we've had the same listeners for forever, right? But like, how do we get new listeners? I mean, we usually get a lot of listens during August. Like that happens a lot.
We'll probably get more listeners if you guys were nicer to me. Probably.
Nah, I don't. No.
No, I don't think so. I mean, because like even when I was trying to be nice, you fucking burped loudly into the microphone doing the intro of the fucking podcast, dude. Like,
I learned it from you, man.
I don't even burp like that. Like I'm the type of motherfucker that if I'm about to burp and I know that it's in
Well, I'm not talking about specifically burping. I'm talking about ruining people's intros.
Ruining people's lives.
You ruined people's lives, Dad. I learned it from you. But like the idea that like I used to do that, just like start talking over people's intros. That used to be fun for me. But like I noticed that there was a couple of people, especially when I was doing guest spots, that used to get really fucking upset by that. So I stopped doing it because of the people who got really upset. Like not everyone did, because at some point it was expected. But like I could do that. I could do that if I'm guessing with some people who've known me for a long time, like Angry Mailman and stuff like that. Like, like I could do that with them. Especially for that first podcast where I didn't realize it was a clean podcast, and he started editing the podcast. It was just like, look, I'm just gonna put a disclaimer at the beginning of this one, because I didn't realize it was clean. So like. I mean, I know that they didn't cuss very much, but I didn't realize that it was supposed to be a clean show. I've done clean shows, but I didn't know that one was at the time.
To be honest, I wouldn't consider, I think I've said this before, I wouldn't consider, even though they don't curse, I would not consider the Angry Mailman podcast to be a clean show for the subject matter they talk about a lot.
Yeah, and they do a lot of they used to do a lot more of this, but they used to do a lot of like substitutions or like cuss words and stuff like that. And I just didn't realize that. I just was like, we're having a conversation, so we just gonna have a conversation. And so it kind of turned into like a de facto Black Hand Side for the first episode. So shout out to Geeks with Color, because every time I appeared on Geeks with Color, we called it the Black Hand Side. Because
which you remember, of course, Do the Kimbo, right?
Yes.
Did you know that there was a Do the Kimbo 2? Do you remember that?
There was a Do the Kimbo 2?
Yes, and it's just as funny as the first one.
Yeah, I remember Do the Kimbo only because I almost crashed my car laughing at me. And this is the reason why I can't listen to me. One, I hate my voice. Two, that shit was so fucking funny that I was driving to the work, or I was on lunch or something like that. It was somewhere around work, and I almost crashed my car laughing at myself because I was laughing so hard. So if that episode is still out there somewhere, actually, I think I put the episode around the time when he died. I put a version of the I put a copy of the episode on here at some point. So like, look, when Kimbo Slice died, I think I put that episode on this feed, but you got to go a ways back.
Yeah, because I was looking through the archives, the GWC archives, and I saw something called Do the Kimbo 2, and I was like, I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, I don't remember the second one. We might have to revisit that, because that shit was fucking hilarious.
Like Scar at one point started singing the basketball song. They're playing basketball.
I mean, come on. That song is still a hit. I don't care what to say. How dumb that song really kind of is. But that was like
is my favorite sport.
Yeah, I like to win the dribble up and down the court. Like, yo, that shit is a hit, dog. I don't care what nobody say. That song is still a hit. I don't care what nobody say. There's some songs that will live forever. There's some songs that will live forever. Here Come the Hammer will live forever. Girl, You Know It's True will live forever. And I watched the thing about Milli Vanilli today, and I found that shit to be like super interesting. I don't even know why it got suggested to me, but I did, like, your phone listens to you. So I did have a conversation with my daughter about Milli Vanilli.
Well, I think it was just like the Google was just like, I know this dude likes whack ass shit. And so I'm just going to suggest it.
Don't
here's some more wacky shit.
Milli Vanilli's music was dope. It just so happens that it wasn't theirs.
It was
right.
Right. I listened to a podcast because I listened to Questlove Supreme, and they had Kevin Liles up there. Kevin Liles, who used to be the president of Def Jam. He started like really low and rose all the way to be the president of Def Jam. He actually said that song is his song. He wrote the song.
Kevin Liles. Kevin Donut Liles.
Well, what do you think? Well, that's like a thing. But what do you think of like a band that gets a new singer, but then there was never
a new Schinger?
Yeah, a new Schinger. Words are
that's probably going to be the show title. A new Schinger.
Well, words are hard, motherfucker. See, you got to have more viewers if you were just supportive of my phonetic fuck ups.
Okay, keep going with what you're saying.
If a band gets a new singer and then there was never a music video for one of their old songs, and then the new singer is in the music video, but it's not his voice, is that like the same thing, or you think that's different?
No.
Didn't they do that with Destiny Child?
Here's what I learned from this. Like, I watched, it was 2 videos. The first one, it was really about Milli Vanilli and the guy who was behind them. Mm-hmm. And apparently that guy was behind Boney M also. And like, it was the exact same thing, except for they didn't get caught. So like, basically this dude had a failed career. He started making different kinds of music, but he knew that no one wanted to see him. So he hired good-looking people to pantomime the music that he made, and that's how he created Boney M. And then the idea came around for looking for, he had some other music that he found, and then like the idea came up again where he had Girl, You Know It's True, and he had some session musicians sing Girl, You Know It's True. He did a remake of the song that Kevin Liles wrote.
So the guy that's behind Rasputin is also behind Girl, You Know It's True.
Yes, he did the majority of the singing himself, and then he hired people to sing, to pantomime him singing. And what happened was the guy who was the original singer in quotation marks, he got upset because they wouldn't let him actually sing.
Well, I mean, I get that people are like, oh, it's not really them. But it wasn't, they weren't trying to like, they were hired to do it. So how is that any different than like saying, oh, I'm making this song and I get ghostwriters and stuff? How is that any different?
No, ghostwriters and someone ghost singing are 2 completely different things. If someone writes a song for me, that's different than someone singing a whole fucking song for me, and I'm just out there pretending that I can fucking sing. That's a completely different situation, and like that's basically what happened there. And then he had the same idea, and he used the same idea for Milli Vanilli, and then Milli Vanilli got caught. And then the crazy part about it is like that's what the Milli Vanilli getting caught is what happened with Martha Wash. And this is why I was saying that I told my daughter about Martha Wash. Martha Wash was like everything for a lot of songs people love, especially Black Box and CNC Music Factory. And then like, because she's a big fat lady.
Oh, she was that lady.
Yeah, she sang pretty much all of the songs, the Black Box songs, and then they put someone else on stage pretending to sing like her.
They kind of covered this in that movie, Fear of a Black Hat.
Yes, Come and Pet the Pussy. Like, the Come and Pet the Pussy part of the movie. But like, Fear of a Black Hat is a great fucking movie, but you have to know these stories that they're making fun of. Like, if you don't understand the stories that they're making fun of, then Fear of a Black Hat don't hit you in the same way as like when you see Come and Pet the Pussy. Like, Come and Pet the Pussy is like a funny scene, but if you understand that this is what happened to Martha Wash, and it makes it funnier. But basically, what they did was they had her come in and sing a bunch of demos. Like Martha Wash was in the Weather Girls originally. She was in the Weather Girls. It's Raining Men is the Weather Girls' big hit. So like, if you've ever heard It's Raining Men, she's one of the two ladies in the Weather Girls. And basically, they had her come in and do a whole bunch of demos, and you know, she demoed the songs, and then they just didn't change the singer out. But she demoed the songs, and then when they released the songs with her voice. So like that first like Black Box album with like everybody and all that kind of stuff. Everybody is another song that will live forever. That shit is still a banger right now.
Great song, yeah.
Yeah, great fucking song. And then like. Also, they did the same thing with CNC Music Factory because she's the one who sang "Everybody Dance Now," and they put somebody.
Yeah, that was kind of a thing back then because I remember. You ever heard of this one lady named Yakid K? She did a lot of the voices for.
She did. Yes, they talked about this. They talked about this in.
And they did the same thing there too.
They talked about this in the second part of the video that I watched, where they were talking about Pump Up the Jam. And then like they put this other lady on the covers and all of this kind of stuff. But then once people started suing, then they actually let her sing the stuff, and then they put up a clip of Arsenio. Arsenio holds up the album with the other lady's picture on it, and then a completely different lady is singing the song, and it's just like,
I didn't actually see what she looked like until that Spin That Wheel, the song from the Ninja Turtle movie.
Okay.
That's the first time I ever saw what she actually looked like. I was like, holy crap, that's the same singer.
Yeah, so she sang all of these songs, and it wasn't until Milli Vanilli got in trouble that she realized that she needed to come after her shit, because like they didn't include her name on nothing. And the same thing happened with the chick from the LL Cool J doing it.
Oh yeah, because she got pregnant or something.
She was pregnant. Yes, she was pregnant and she couldn't be in the video, so they put someone else in the video, and like all of this stuff. And like the crazy part about this, right? They kind of break it down. Like a lot of this stuff happened like the same year.
Didn't Missy have something like that too, where she sang on a song and she wasn't even in the video? It was like some little skinny chick.
That part I don't know,
like
but
very early in her career.
I wouldn't be surprised because she was in a group called Sister or something like that, and then she was a part of a production team from Devontae from
Jodeci.
from Jodeci. Like her, Timbaland, all of them were like really like involved in like that Jodeci stuff. And I heard Devontae was like crazy, like just like getting mad at them and then they're slapping motherfuckers in the face. Like, you know what I mean? Because like at some point at Jodeci they had an association with Death Row. Like they were never on Death Row, but they hung out with them niggas a lot. And
they were on their songs,
yeah. They were on the songs and they had an association with Death Row. But apparently Devontae took that shit real strong. Like they were talking about a time. Yeah, they were talking about a time where he just got pissed off, sat them all in around. It had like a meeting in like Martin style where he was making fun of New Jack City, and like he just walked around slapping people in the fucking face, including Missy. Like, yeah, they say he was like real on some crazy stuff. But like the videos that I watched were like really good, and like it would really, the first part was about Milli Vanilli, and then the second part was about all of these other instances, and like a lot of this stuff happened like all around the same time. I think it was 1990 or 91. Like all of this stuff just started falling like bit by bit, and I didn't know this. This is one thing I learned from this video. Well, two things I learned: that the same guy was behind Boney M. But the other thing that I learned, Milli Vanilli is the only act to get their Grammy revoked. No one else has gotten their Grammy revoked. They are the only ones. That's crazy. As like no matter like how well, no matter what kind of scandals or whatever is going to fuck on, like they are the only ones to actually get their Grammys revoked.
Wow.
Yeah, but I'm a look up the videos that I watched. If anybody want to watch these, I can tell you the name of the videos and the YouTube page because these are really interesting. The YouTube page is called Traxploitation, Tracks with an X, Traxploitation. And the first one is called Frank Fabian, Boney M, and Milli Vanilli, Mime and Punishment is the first video. And then there's another one where it says Milli Vanilli were not the only imposters, Mime and Punishment. I guess it's a Mime and Punishment series. So like that, actually, something that I think I know what led me there because I was watching someone do reactions, right? And he, the guy who does the reaction, he does a lot of like 90s rap because he's a young dude. So like a lot of the stuff he's never heard before. So people suggest stuff. Shout out to my man, King of Mod. But like, he's like super into this shit now because this is all this music that he missed. But he listened to Queen Bitch from Lil Kim. And there was a back and forth of whether Biggie wrote that song for her. Because there's a
track with him rapping on it.
Yes. Now, here's the thing. The producer of the hardcore album said that she wrote the song. She didn't know how to perform it well. So him doing it is showing her how she should be rapping. It wasn't that he wrote it. He is like, this is how you do this.
See, I always assumed that he was writing all her shit just because the quality of her music died when he passed.
Yes.
It was just like, dude, like you're just trash now.
Yeah, this dude said it, but like okay, so I saw an interview with Lil C's. Lil C's said that Big was writing like a lot of Junior Mafia stuff himself. And that means writing for everyone. But then this one dude said that Biggie never wrote anything for Kim. That thing is only because he was showing her how to rap the song. I don't know what the truth is, but like when C said like he had to learn how to write after Biggie died because Biggie wrote everything.
Yeah, like I mean, I heard that Junior Mafia album. If he wrote all that, he must have kept the really good shit for himself.
Of course.
I mean,
yeah, he said he wrote most of that himself. But that's what I was looking up, and that's probably why this came up. Because you look up. Sometimes you get bored and you look up reference tracks. Like old girl who writes all the Rihanna songs. What's her name?
The chick, girl with the hair.
The chick that was in. She was in Pitch Perfect.
Oh yeah,
Esther Dean. Esther Dean. You never seen Pitch Perfect?
No, I've never seen any of those movies.
I love Pitch Perfect. What are you talking about? But
you're into that performance stuff type of thing.
Yeah, the black lady in Pitch Perfect is Esther Dean, who wrote a lot of the big Rihanna hits, and there are reference tracks that she made for Rihanna online.
Oh, okay.
So, but like she wrote a lot of stuff. So like it wasn't just that. But yeah. A lot of stuff. See, I can get lost talking about music.
You get some good rabbit holes on YouTube. Me, I look at one Escape from Tarkov video, and that's all I ever get.
Yeah, I heard that the new Division game, they're making a free to play game, and they keep saying it's very much like Escape from Tarkov, but I don't necessarily know what that means.
It's very, very, very technical. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
From what I've seen. I'm never ever going to play this game.
I think it's like a less technical Escape from Tarkov. Like, it basically has two modes. Like you have a mode where it's basically like training wheels where it's telling you how to do all of this. And then like you basically go out into the world with other people and like you got to accomplish some tasks and then extract back
as serious as this game gets, I might as well go put on some gear and go out there myself. I mean, it'd probably be easier.
I mean, then the Division game might be for you whenever it comes out.
No, I'm not saying that's a positive thing. I'm like, as technical as they're trying to make this game to be, I might as well go out there personally myself and go out there and shoot stuff. Because
well, the Division game is not going to be that. Like, it's going to be a divisionized version of that. Right. So like, it's called the Division Heartland, and it's going to be available pretty much on all of the consoles and mobile, I believe, supposedly. And it's being produced by Red Storm. So Red
Chase,
Storm.
Are you a Tarkov fan, Chase?
I have friends that play it, but I never
tried it. It just looks too technical for me. It looks like it's no fun.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of like no fun in games, and I'm also not a fan of Battle Royale. I don't understand the appeal of Battle Royale. And it always seemed like a Battle Royale type game to me, not necessarily the same type of shit, but like PUBG and what's the shit that all the kids play?
Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite. Yeah, that one. Fortnite, who basically stole the idea from PUBG, and they made it bigger.
Remember when Fortnite first came out? It was a completely different game.
Yeah, it was supposed to be. There's apparently that mode is still there, but no one plays it.
Because I remember because I was working at GameStop when it came out.
Yeah, like it was supposed to be like you go out and gather materials and stuff like that because you're building a protection from some monsters who are going to invade at night, and like, people were kind of ho-hum on the whole idea. And then PUBG came out and was like, oh, we could just do that. So they did it. And they won because of it.
Right.
Well, I found that video, by the way, guys.
Okay.
You put the link in there, and I'll tell you about it. You guys ready?
Okay.
So to set this up, Chase, you can excuse yourself from the conversation.
Are we going to be watching YouTube while we're recording a podcast?
No, it's just skip to 1 second. Skip to one moment that I want you to look at. Okay. So, like, you remember back in the day, there was these like over 40 clubs that would be. I don't know if you had them there, but the commercials for them were always silly and ridiculous, and made it look like an old time senior place. I've been watching SportsCenter in the morning, and every morning these commercials for this place come out, and they're ridiculous. And like, there's one dude dressed like Mr. T walking around smoking a hookah. So like, there's one part at the 20-second part of this video, 20-second mark. There's a lady who's doing like the whole thing with like the champagne, the pitcher of champagne with the glass, with the ice bucket of champagne, and like the sparkler and stuff. And she's wearing a COVID mask, and I don't know if it's the COVID mask or her face, making it look like she's in tremendous pain.
Okay, so where
every time I see this, it's hilarious. Okay, I put it in the chat.
Okay, you put it in the chat. Watching YouTube on the
go to the 20-second. Just go to the 20-second mark and look at this woman's face when you play it.
Okay, here we go.
The look on her face is like, what?
Go to the 20-second mark. Wow, she does. Why is he dressed like? Yo, I just saw my man. Why is he dressed like Mr. T? That doesn't make any sense. And first of all, that lady looked like whatever she was holding was heavy as fuck. Like, she looked like, oh my god, I'm gonna drop this thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's
why would you? Okay, why would you put that in your commercial?
Exactly, and she's wearing a face shield. So, like, she is not wearing a face mask. She's wearing the clear plastic shields.
She looks like she's a henchman. She looks like she's a henchman in the Dark Knight or something.
Yeah, she looks like, oh, we're going to drop this, like, right before she actually drops this. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they got her
every time I see this in the morning watching SportsCenter, I'm just, Chase, are you okay?
Yep.
Okay.
We're just talking about stuff Chase doesn't care about. We're not talking about metal.
Well, there's metal in that bucket, I'm pretty sure. So when she drops
it looked like something. It looked like something is metal in that bucket.
I see this every morning, and I die laughing every time I have to look at her face.
Yeah, she looked like she is struggling. Why did that make the commercial? Why did that make the commercial? Like, Linda, let me talk to you real quick, Linda. I need you to fix your face for this shot. Like, you know what I mean? Linda.
See, she looks more like a Vondi to me, or a Vonda.
No. That's a Linda. That is very much a Linda. That is 100% a Linda. Linda need to fix her face for this shot. Like, I can't stress how much. That's a Linda. If I've never seen a Linda before, that's a Linda. You know what?
She's just upset that she has to work here.
I'm gonna add on to the show title a new Schinger named Miss Linda.
Yeah, needs to fix her face.
Yeah. No. Just name Miss Linda.
A new Schinger named Miss Linda. Okay, sounds good.
Looks like a Miss Linda. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't just call her Linda. Like, you know what I mean? Like, even though like we the age of people that could be going to this club, like you can't just call her Linda. That is Miss Linda right there.
Yeah, I used to make fun of these things, but now I'm like, this is actually for my age.
Minus the Mr. T dude, it don't seem like a bad place. And like you ain't got to worry about the shit getting shot up. I mean, unless someone's shacking up with someone else's old lady. You know how that goes.
No, yeah, and he'll take like a pistol. Like he's an old dude, he'll take a pistol.
Yeah, the nigga show up with a Ruger. Like Samson, what are you doing with that pistol? Oh, Mr. Samson.
No, yeah, like I said, like in the 90s, they used to show commercials for places like that on the hip hop video shows.
Yeah, I got you. All right, Chase.
What's up, man?
How's your last 2 weeks been? We need to get you talking. I'm gonna tell y'all about some real embarrassing shit that happened to me yesterday, but right now I'm gonna talk to both of y'all. How's your last couple of weeks been?
My last couple of weeks? Well, you were talking about some shit about some stuff, and I was just like, yo, man, I got some shit about some stuff too. You know, damn.
You know, Chase is one of those storytellers that be starting laughing before he actually tells you the story, and then once he finally tells you the story, it's not anything laughable. That's Chase right now. I used to start laughing before you tell me. Go ahead.
Well, actually, what's happening right now is I had something that I was going to talk about, and now that I've been like listening to y'all talk for a while, I'm trying to like gather what that was. So I'm just like, yo, bro.
Do you want me to come back to you?
No, I got this.
You want me to talk to Sam for a minute and then come back to you?
You've been talking to Sam for a minute.
Okay, sorry, Chase.
You were talking about how we were doing stuff, and like we were talking about the podcast, right? And how we don't use that website because they made us pay money. Would you remember Photo Bucket?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I was on like one of my blogs, and then I was like, oh, these pictures are actually still here, but they have a Photo Bucket mark now. Okay, and then on Photo Bucket, if you right click on the picture, you can see the user name in the URL or whatnot. I was like, huh, I know this username now. That's something I haven't heard in a long fucking time. What the fuck would my password be from like 2004? And I thought, and the first thing that popped in my mind, I put it in there, and boom, it wasn't. It was like, pay now or your shit's gonna get deleted, because they have now gone with all this watermark stuff. And I guess, I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. Everybody's using like Google and stuff.
Nobody uses a Photo Bucket anymore.
Right. So the thing to compete with Google is not to lock everybody out their fucking shit and make them pay. That's going to make them...
I think that's what they're going for. I think they realize, our website is shit. No one goes here anymore. Hey, let's call everybody's pictures hostage.
Yeah. So I paid the little $3 like for a subscription or whatnot, downloaded everything and canceled that shit. And I was like, I have all this shit from like 2004 between, and I was like all these flyers from my old band and stuff. So I have all this shit, and I'm like kind of happy about that. And the flyers are actually it's not like super HD, but they're in decent resolution, So I'm thinking about printing those things out, and hanging them up and stuff. But
you said you have an image shack?
That's dope. I had the same issue with Flickr, because I had two. I had a Smug Mug for a long time, and Smug Mug was great, but they wanted a lot of money, and they had this. Smug Mug had this thing where you had these really, really cool fucking galleries that you can put pictures in. Like they had templates for like a gallery. Mm-hmm. So like if I went to a game or something like that, I could just change the gallery to like the colors of the team that I supported. Or like when I had my holiday party, I can make it a Christmas theme or something like that. They had some really cool shit, but like they shit started to get like super fucking expensive. So I went to Flickr, and then Flickr did the same thing. Shit, I had to fucking sign up for a Yahoo email for Flickr at the time because it was a Yahoo product. And then then they switched up and wanted me to pay a exorbitant amount of money, and I was just kind of like, nah, dog, this ain't gonna be it. And then like Google came along, and Google was great for a while until Google changed their policies. It used to be if you had your Googles on, if you just let them automatically upload all of your pictures, and if they lessen the quality a little bit just to make it fit, then it didn't count against your the space that you had for your Googles, like your Google Drive and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It didn't count against that. And then they changed that, and now it all counts against your Google Drive space. So now like my Google Drive is almost full because of all of the shows and stuff like that. And they don't make it fucking easy because like that's how Chase gives me the show. Chase edits the show and puts it into Google's, and then I download it and then upload it. So like Google changed their shit, and now like I have like very, very little space left. Every time I go there, I got like 15 of my 17 gigabytes full.
Right.
And
yeah, that's a lot of gigs. There's got to be some sort of way around this, like, because like even that to where like you're wanting to back up stuff, but PhotoBucket, the main thing with PhotoBucket wasn't storage, it was hosting. You would you would put your shit on PhotoBucket so you can post it in other places. And they don't even allow hosting anymore. Like anything that's already hosted, it has a big old PhotoBucket logo on the top of it.
That's whack.
Yeah.
That's whack as fuck.
Hey, did you have an image shack?
I think I did when I was in school.
ImageShack.us. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But yeah. But I mean, they're all super simple. Here's one. A little
Marshalator.
Dresser Tragedy was my band. Actually, 2 of those bands went on to like get signed and had a few records out, which is pretty cool.
That's dope.
But yeah, and the other thing is like Verizon, man. Did I talk about the Verizon mishap last time?
You didn't tell me about it. What happened?
No.
Well, I really only upgrade every 2 years when things like actually go up for upgrade. You know, I'm like, well, this thing's paid off, might as well, I guess, because
taxes.
Because well, it's not really taxes because it just goes on your bill or whatever. But because I didn't want to pay off my phone. I mean, because I don't really do that. I just let it go out its normal thing. So but if it's going out, I was like, might as well upgrade, right? But this time, Aiden really needed a new phone. His phone was paid off, but his phone's always acting up. He's always mad because for some reason it's LG Stylo. I don't really know much about those, but there are certain apps that just did not work with it.
I'm using a Stylo 4 right now.
I don't know if his is a Stylo. It's a Stylo something, but he would try to download like a game or whatnot.
But I never actually used the stylus. It's weird. I'm getting ready to upgrade. I do have another phone, and I have not switched the SIM card over yet. But yeah, I've been having this LG Stylo 4 for years.
Yeah, he pretty much lost the stylus immediately. But but yeah, there's just certain games he wanted to play that wasn't compatible with it, and just certain weird things. And I've pretty much been forever on Pixel because every time I had any other phone, after a couple of years, you're like, this thing's sluggish. I'm having to reset it every like few months or whatnot. The Pixels, I never had to do that ever. They've always just worked. And so when it would come time to upgrade, it was like kind of like, might as well. I mean, this phone's fine, but might as well. So this time I was like, well, I'm going to upgrade. If anybody's going to upgrade, he can get my phone because it's fine. And so they said, well, that's fine. You can actually just put that phone to him. You still pay off on that phone, and then you get the upgrade. And we had to do that first, but then when we went to like activate the Pixel 5 for him, they were like, that's still got the stylo still has a balance. You can't upgrade. I was like, that does not have a balance. We just paid like $60, like to go ahead and just pay it off because that was all that was left on it. And then she was like, "No, it has like a $500 balance on it."
How?
And we looked at it and what had happened, and they can't prove it, and we couldn't prove it, but they had moved the balance from the Pixel 5 to the stylo. So they could fix it somehow. There's got to be some sort of paper trail. But every time Verizon has a time that they're not 24/7. So by the time I get off work, I'm immediately on the phone. Half of it's waiting, and then I'm hopefully get done before 7 when they close out. And it got near 7, and we haven't done it since because we're just like, every time it comes around, we're like, I'd rather just go play a video game. The 5 is got his Gmail account. He can still play games and stuff. He just has 2 phones basically. One that he's mostly on, and one that has the service. Because
my Stylo 4, I don't run into a lot of apps that I can't update at this point, but like right now I'm having an issue with Instagram. Instagram just will not update at all. Just like every time it tries, it's just like, all right, we're downloading, we're installing. Oh, no, we can't install. Not that I use Instagram that much, but still, like I'm having those issues.
Yeah, certain apps just you just search it and he can't even find it on the store.
Oh.
So I don't even know what's up with that. I didn't even know it was a thing. But anyway, that was a thing. So, last time I was wanting to talk about, I had jailbroke my Vita TV because that's been sitting in the closet for a while, and I've been thinking about. I mean, it's cool like that you can have emulators on the PC, but when I think about playing a retro game, do I really think about sitting at my PC? No, I think about like us all like sitting on the couch and passing the controller back and forth with some Mario. And
that's how I feel about gaming in general. Like. I don't enjoy sitting at my PC playing games. I just don't.
Right. I mean, I get that. I really do miss like just sitting in the recliner or whatnot. But I have a house with a family, and I don't really want to just like take over the living room TV because I want to play some Destiny.
Fuck them niggas. Like, yo, it's Destiny time. Fuck them niggas.
But
sorry. I mean, I can say that. You can't say that, but I can say it. Fuck them.
It's just like, yeah.
It's Destiny time. Fuck y'all.
Yeah. But the jailbreaking. I mean, it wasn't what I would consider just like easy peasy, but it was definitely not difficult. I found this dude. He's very nerdy and very he's just like a nerdy older guy. And his videos,
one of those Ben Hick type dudes.
Yeah, like he.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a while.
Yeah.
I was like, if you fuck up using his guide, then you didn't fucking listen or something. Because he's like, okay, next step is to hit the middle button and close out of this by hitting this. Now you have to hit the middle button, then hit the circle, and then like he goes each little step like that from like hit the X to accept, hit the circle to go back, type thing. So if you fuck up on his video, then you were literally not paying attention. But there is, when you're installing some of these like soft mod stuff, there is always that 1% chance that you'll brick it. Didn't happen with mine, but still, like, I mean, it's more of a thing if you're like trying to soft mod your new Xbox that you'll be like, oh man. But if I hear
a S is a pretty good emulation machine.
Well, I would assume so.
A Series S is like really good at emulation. I've seen a video or two, but I'm not about to fuck mine up.
Right. I've actually heard that one of the best emulation machines is the original Xbox.
Yes, but you need Splinter Cell in order to do it, and you need the right Splinter Cell in order to do it.
But yeah,
and that Splinter Cell is now super fucking expensive because everybody wants it to do this.
But yeah, it went fine. The RetroArch is what I used to do pretty much everything before N64. N64, there was another one that I did, and I heard that I can do Dreamcast too, but I haven't fucked with it. But PS2 and N64 and anything like that, the Vita is just not powerful enough for it. But the N64 was able to run like Mario 64, which is and Donkey Kong 64, which is the main shit you'd want to do it for. Fine, like, but it would crash every time on Conker's Bad Fur Day. But
okay, so why would you need Conker's Bad Fur Day?
Because
it's never been re-released on any kind of anything. You do, like, the only way to play it is like a ROM or the actual real cartridge.
Now remember they did a remake.
No, not okay. They did, but it's like a censored version. It's not the original one.
So Live and Reloaded is censored. I've never been into Conquer because like.
It's kind of. I mean, there was kind of some bad language.
And if I want to see some boobies, I know exactly where to go to get that. So like, it's not like I don't really need to see digital boobies. Like
like all the re-releases, they're all yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and PS1, the only PS1 game I actually used on there was Silent Hill 1, but you have to use a PSP emulator that emulates the PS1 on Adrenaline. And it ran fine, but yeah.
So you paying PS1 games like no like Bushido Blade, no Bloody Roar? Like what are we talking about here? Like we not the original Dynasty Warriors which was a 2-person fighting game. Like what are we talking about here? Like you're doing all the wrong shit.
Well, that's the only one I have put on there at this moment because I wanted to test it out. It's not Adrenaline isn't perfect. None of this is perfect.
If you do PS2 games, if you don't have Def Jam Fight for New York, I will disown you as my podcast hetero life partner.
I mean, it's on my computer, but like that Vita's not handling that shit.
I did have a PS2 emulator and I played it for a little bit and I was like, oh, that was cool, and I never played it.
I actually got a PS3 emulator for one thing, which was 50 Cent Blood on the Sand, because I was like, I really got in the mood to play it after that whole Xbox shit of that it was backwards compatible, but it's so fucking expensive. So I just wanted to go through a little bit of it and got my fix of playing this.
I've never played those games. I've never played either of those games.
Well, the first one was terrible, but that one's really fun.
So Chase, you can mod my my PS Mini.
Probably, but or someone could
because I really want to play Children of the Atom, the X-Men game, the X-Men Capcom game.
You know what? I swore for a long time that they stole that fucking idea from me. Because me and my homies used to sit around talking about video games, and this is when Street Fighter was in its heyday, and the X-Men cartoon was the shit, and I was like, you know what, they should make an X-Men fighting game, and I said that shit for years, I tell you, and then fucking X-Men Children of the Atom comes out, and I'm like, those motherfuckers stole this idea from me.
There was some dude in like a milk truck, with a little antenna listening to you.
Yes, I think so. Because I talked about this shit for years before the shit actually came out, when Street Fighter was in its heyday. I'm mad. I'm still mad about that shit. You know how much money I lost out on that? Not that it was any money for me to make, but fuck that shit. They stole that idea from me. Wouldn't be no X-Men versus Capcom, none of that shit without my idea.
Was Children of the Atom the first one? No, it was the second one, I think. Wasn't there one already?
I thought that was the first one.
I know there was like Capcom versus Street Fighter.
That was the first one that was good.
Capcom versus Street Fighter?
Capcom versus SNK or so. I don't know. I forgot what the hell it was.
Yeah.
There was a Capcom versus somebody at first.
Yeah, but still.
Oh, well, speaking of things, I threw in there and I put on the SNES version of Street Fighter 2, and because my son really wanted to play it, and I was like, he picked I think he picked Ryu, and then he got his ass handed to him by Gil, and then he was like, you
Gil?
play.
You said Street Fighter.
Gil? Who the fuck is Gil?
Gil is that's not Street Fighter 2.
That's the dude with the.
That was Alpha, wasn't it? Gil was in Alpha.
Well, he was in this version.
Guile?
I think he's talking about Guile.
I think he's talking about Guile. He said Gil. Because I know Gil. There is a Gil, and that's not. We're not talking about the same dude.
Guile, Gil, same difference. But
Charlie,
anyway,
if you were saying Charlie, then maybe we have a conversation between Guile and Charlie. But no, not no Gil.
Okay, Children of the Atom was first. It came out in '95.
But he handed me the controller, and I was like, okay. And then I picked what's the lady that has the big thighs?
Chun-Li?
Yeah.
Damn, you can't even think of
Megan Thee Stallion?
I had this conversation.
I still don't understand Megan Thee Stallion, because the stallion is a male horse. But we're like, why do we keep skipping over that part?
I talked about. I can talk about that in a second, but I talked about that with Jared. But I, dude, I beat the fucking shit out of that shit, no hits against me or anything, and I just handed the controller back to him. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm retired here. Just
so Chase, is your dream matchup Gil versus Roy?
No.
I'm playing with you. Guile versus Ryu.
Now I'm gonna tell you, my Street Fighter skills got me punched once, and I never styled on anyone else after that.
Oh, in middle school, we almost got our ass whooped.
Yeah. So what happened was, I used to play with my little brother. Rest in peace to my brother. I used to play with my little brother all the time, and when I was in school, like somebody in my class had the guide. So like I would like, back in those days I ain't had no money for a guide, so I would like write stuff down and I would memorize a lot of shit. So like when we sat down to play, like one day I was on fire. When I tell you I was on fire, I was on fire, and I was working with every character. He was just like, no, you can't beat me with so and so, and I whooped his ass with so and so, and I just kept switching and I kept running the fucking table. I was whooping his ass, and I started gloating like real fucking bad. and my brother got mad, and he punched me in the chest, and he knocked the wind out of my ass, and I was like, ooh. Like,
he did the gasp and everything. Huh?
That nigga caught me so square in the chest, and it knocked the wind out. Like I was, I will never gloat on another motherfucker ever again. Now, when it came to my NCAA football skills, I used to gloat a little bit. There was one time where I was playing against one of my homies, and I kept calling plays and I kept calling stuff before it happened. And then I would just kind of like take the controller and then just grab the cord and let the controller hang. And I was like, this is an interception. And then like he catch the interception and I was just like, yep. And then I would run it back. I did that a little bit, but for a while I was not gloating on anybody because I got punched in the chest that one time.
I never had any skills in any game to stun anybody. So.
Oh man.
No, in middle school though, we used to. It was on the way home, me and my friends would always pass by the little mini store, which had like a Street Fighter 2 Championship Edition. And like, this was on a street where like, there was like a lot of gangs and stuff. The gangbangers would come by in there and like try to bid us and stuff like that. And one of my friends was like, basically like, a beautiful mind, for video games. He's basically the kid from The Wizard.
Always in the arcade, the little Asian kid?
No, the little white boy.
No, I'm just saying, like they had the kind of skills that the little Asian kid always had.
Okay, yeah. He was one of them dudes. He was halfway autistic anyway, I think. I don't know. But he had some sick skills, and he just looked very unassuming. You wouldn't think that he could stun on anybody. Man, he whooped all them gangbangers in Street Fighter, which is like one character with one quarter. And they were basically like, man, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's run. Because they were not happy.
Right. All right, Chase, you straight right now?
Yeah, I mean,
we're almost an hour into this recording, so like, I want to talk to Sam, and then I'm gonna tell you about my embarrassing story yesterday. Okay?
Embarrassing story yesterday.
Well, yeah, I had a very embarrassing situation yesterday. So Sam, how have you been, sir?
I've just been here, doing my thing. I saw Batman.
People have been talking very highly of it. I'm still very skeptical.
I've only read one dude that had anything negative. Well, actually, two people that had anything negative to say. And one of them was like,
GameSpot?
I don't trust his opinion. What?
GameSpot?
GameSpot GameSpot gave it a bad review.
They gave it like a 6, I think. Oh. It was either them or Giant Bomb. I get all these freaking video game places confused.
I used to to that subscription model nonsense.
One dude was basically like, "Oh, it's just 7 with Batman in it." I'm like, "Well, yeah, but Dark Knight was just Heat with Batman in it." So,
yep, I guess you could say that.
But no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. Thought it was great. Kind of long. I was like, did Martin Scorsese secretly make this movie because it's 3 hours long? And I swear it ended like 3 times.
Wow.
Because like once you think it was over, you're like, oh no, something else is happening. I'm like, oh my god.
See, that's the part that I don't really enjoy. I don't enjoy long movies that feel long. Like, you know what I mean? Like Infinity War and fucking Endgame were long fucking movies, but they didn't feel long. You know what I mean? Like, right. like Endgame kind of dragged at the beginning with Scott and stuff like that. But once Scott made it to the rest of the people, like it kind of picked up. You know what I mean? So like, but like it didn't feel like that. You know, like I never want to be in a movie theater and feel like I felt for Ali. Ali was a long ass movie, and that shit felt every bit as long as it was.
I've never seen Ali.
Don't bother. Trust me on this. Ali is the only movie where halfway through the movie, went to the bathroom, looked at the snacks, bought some popcorn, like all that kind of shit. In the middle of the fucking movie, I went to the bathroom, just kind of walking around and shit, and then came back and finished the fucking movie, and I ain't miss a motherfucking thing.
Dude, like in the Batman, I took 2 bathroom breaks.
Yeah. So,
but it was good though. I enjoyed it. It was just like I really had to pee.
Right. I got you. Okay. Anything else going on with you for the last few weeks? Since we talked to you.
I got that Discovery Plus. I didn't buy it. Someone else bought it. But I was like, well, now that I have access to it, I guess I can watch it. I guess.
What the fuck does Discovery Plus have?
It's like the Discovery Channel, but like all their shows of it. It's like their own streaming service.
Okay. That doesn't sound...
I mean, there's some interesting stuff.
I mean, you got to think of everything that Discovery owns. So if you like anything to do with food or any of that, it owns all that food stuff and all.
They own like a million channels. Yeah.
You like how Disney has like Nat Geo and all of that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I feel you there.
So like, I was watching one show because my girl likes those ghost paranormal adventure type shows.
Yeah.
And so I started watching one. It's called Ghost Brothers.
Oh, we've seen that. That's a good show.
It starts out normal, like it's a normal day. He's like these 3 dudes hanging out in the barbershop, shooting the shit. And there's like, yo, I heard about this one place down south where like the ghost lurks in the window and this. And he's like, let's go check that out. So these 3 black dudes go to these places and check them out. The thing about it is a lot of these places are in the deep south where they don't know if the ghost is haunting them because they're there or because they're black.
There was a story about Nicolas Cage buying up some sort of mansion in New Orleans and that bitch was haunted.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I heard some sort of story like that. He bought some sort of mansion and it was very, very haunted.
Well, of course it is. The mansion in the South. But
and New Orleans at that.
Right.
Oh, that's even worse.
Yeah, don't they always like every time they get out their equipment, they're like, we gotta pop the trunk.
Yeah, he's like, let's go pop the trunk on his ghost. But like in the first season, they weren't even having the equipment. They would literally just have their iPhones, or they would have like apps on their iPhones. Once you get into later episodes or later seasons, they got that expensive shit. You know, those EMF finders. There's all kinds of shit that they got. Those boxes.
The REM pods.
REM pods, yeah.
You said EMF, like
electromagnetic field.
No, because ain't that the unbelievable dudes?
Oh, you're unbelievable. Oh.
Yeah, that song. What they call EMF?
I think UMF. Or
okay, I think it's something like that. Okay.
Yeah, they're looking for the device looks for members of EMF.
No, they were called EMF. I'm looking it up now. They were EMF.
Oh, really?
There's one of them now. Shit.
Yeah, it definitely was EMF.
But no, it's an entertaining show. It's just kind of silly though how they just kick it and they're like, "Oh, let's go check out this haunted place." Oh shit, let's go. I'm like, man, you're only gonna get shot by a ghost. You're gonna get shot by some dude that don't take too kindly to you being there.
Hey, painter the bear. I don't watch any of that shit. So like y'all got me on this. Like
it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting.
I don't find none of this shit to be interesting, especially if it's reality. I don't find reality shows to be interesting at all. I watch no reality shows really.
Only thing I watch that's reality is like still cooking shit, like Kitchen Nightmares and stuff.
Yeah, like I watch like the cooking competition shows, but as far as like a reality show, like no.
Yeah, the drama shows, nah, man, fuck it, that shit.
I don't watch none of that shit. I might watch a clip here and there, but I won't sit down and watch a show. Like I won't just like sit down and watch the whole show. Like if I was to watch,
I don't turn it on.
I would definitely. If I was to watch something, I'm definitely watching The Masked Singer. Like that seemed like some shit up my alley. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you watch the singing competitions. I would consider that reality TV.
Yes, but like I watched those like for the most part way after the shows had already aired. I only watched one season while the season was active. I went back and I watched I watched a whole bunch of clips from the shows to kind of get what happened during each of the shows. So I went back and I watched that. And yes, that is a reality show. It's a competition show. But for the most part, I don't really watch competition shows. or reality shows.
Yeah, I think what people think of reality shows, none of us watch, unless it was a Real World. We watched that.
They did a reunion of the Real World, and they did a reunion of the first one. And David is still an asshole. Like David never. Somebody shared an article, and I read the article. I didn't actually watch it, but they did a reunion for the first cast, and David is the first person to get kicked off one of those shows. And he has not grown up since. Like, he has done no growing up at all.
Yeah, because he probably has a bunch of enablers around him, a bunch of yes man.
Yeah. He is not grown as a person one bit since being kicked off of that show. And he still feels like he didn't really do anything wrong. You dragged a girl through the fucking hallway where she said she didn't have much clothes on, and you're pulling the sheet that she's wrapping around herself off of her when she said she didn't have much on. And like,
I remember seeing that.
You still feel like you've done nothing wrong. Like, she told you she wasn't wearing very much, and you just being a fucking jerk, dragged her down a fucking hallway trying to pull the fucking sheet off of her. What the fuck do you think, dog?
Right.
And he still swears like he ain't do nothing wrong. So I don't know. Like, yeah, the whole article was about his interactions with everyone.
He's a boys would be boys type of guy, right?
Yeah, he's very much that kind of guy, and he never grew up. I mean, and we never really saw him again outside of that bit part that he had in Half Baked. Like the rehab scene in Half Baked. He's in that scene. He's you ever suck some dick for some weed, like whatever the fuck he said. Like, he's that guy. That was the last time. Yeah, no, it was bad. It was Bob Saget and him talking to.
Oh, the one that was like, "Boo this man."
Yes, him. That's the dude from the Real World. Yeah, the boo this man dude. So apparently he hasn't grown very much as a person at all, and that's kind of sad, because like, this shit is like old. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in all of these years, you haven't grown up at all. Like, it's one of those people that can't never admit when he was wrong. It's like, fuck, dog. Like, you were real fucked up about this shit, and at some point you need to fucking answer for that. So it's kind of fucked up. All right, so I'm going to tell you my embarrassing story yesterday.
Go for it.
And then we're gonna talk about the stuff that we've been into, things that we watched and things that we played. But we're gonna do that very quickly. Case very quickly, because we're already over an hour. Okay, so my embarrassing story yesterday. So I was talking to my ex. And she is working at a different store. They're setting up a different store, and it's a little bit of ways away. And near that place, they have a Shoney's. Most of the Shoney's around here have closed. So, like, we used to go to Shoney's and rip that place up, on the weekends, and like just go get you some breakfast and stuff like that. Shoney's breakfast is usually pretty straight. So she asked me to go, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'll go to fucking Shoney's. Let's do this." So we're on the way to Shoney's, and this place is about 30 minutes away from because I don't live that far away from her. So it's about 30 minutes away from where I live. And we're driving there, and I feel fine. I get up in the morning, and I feel fine. I take my medicines. I do. Are you
talking about your most recent ex, or?
Yes.
Your ex-wife. Okay.
Yeah, we still hang out sometimes. We don't. I mean, it doesn't go anything further than me hanging out at her house when I'm washing clothes, and like occasionally we'll go out to eat and stuff like that. It hasn't gone anywhere further than that. We still cool, but so we are on the way, and about halfway there, my stomach doesn't feel so good, and I'm like, something is wrong. I don't say anything. And then we go over this bridge, and this bridge is like high in the air. And the moment we went over that bridge, I feel horrible. I don't know whether it was like the altitude or whatever, but I feel bad. So I'm just like, okay, I'll be fine. Everything's cool. We make it to the place, and like, I don't feel great, but I don't feel that bad. So we go inside, we sit down, order our drinks or whatever like that. We get up, go to the buffet, and I'm standing there waiting in line to get my food. And I'm just kind of like, yeah, this is getting worse. don't know exactly what's wrong. So I sit down with my food and we're having a conversation and I'm just kind of like, I tell her it's just like, okay, so I don't think I'm gonna eat that much right now. I'll take a couple of bites of my food and I'm just kind of like, my stomach is not right. So instead of dwelling on it, I just have a conversation. We just having a conversation. She eats her food. I barely touched mine. She gets up and goes to grab her second plate. And all of a sudden, I just start retching.
Oh, man.
Just, and I start throwing up a little bit. And I'm trying to like hold it. And like a part of me is like, I'm sitting at the table. I don't even know where the bathroom is in this place. So like, it's not like I'm going to make it to the bathroom. And I'm trying to hold it back. I'm trying.
That never works.
Yes, it never works. So I end up yakking all over myself because I'm like holding it with my hand, trying to hold it back. And I end up throwing up and it like all over my shirt. It's all over my pants. And like, I literally sitting at the fucking seat in fucking Shoney's just throw the fuck up right then and there. And I'm just like, yo, this shit is fucking crazy. And I like, now I gotta like, I'm like trying to like use the little napkins out of the napkin holder to try to wipe myself off. And then like, and it's like, it's not really working that well. So I get myself at least semi okay. And I get up to find the bathroom. I'm like, yo, where's the bathroom? Cause she talks to the guy who was the server and he gives us like a roll of this like paper towels or whatever like that. And I'm trying to like do what I can. And she, so she has to do what a bathroom is. I go to the bathroom and I'm standing there and I'm like trying to like clean up as much of this stuff off me as I can. And then all of a sudden my stomach starts rumbling and now it's coming out the other end.
Oh no.
So like, and I am not one of those people that likes to go in a public bathroom, but that day, yesterday, it was a problem. And like, yo, I felt so horrible and I felt bad because like, we drove 30 minutes. Like it was supposed to be just like cool hanging out, eating some breakfast, eating some Shoney's. Like Shoney's was the shit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't even get to have my favorite part. I didn't even have my fucking pancakes with the little apple, the fried apples on it. Like, damn, I didn't get none of that shit. Like shit was just fucked up. And I was like, I had to go to the bathroom really bad. And like, it was just a horrible situation. But yeah, I threw up on myself like a fucking baby in fucking Shoney's.
Do you have like sick association with Shoney's now?
No, I think it was. I mean, because I wanted that food. I absolutely wanted that food, and I wanted to eat that food, but my stomach was just not fucking cooperating yesterday. Like it just, and the crazy part is, I felt fine until we got about halfway there, and I was just kind of like, ooh, I don't like how this feels.
Do you know what caused it, or?
I think it was some sort of stomach bug because I can't. So like she drove me home and I'm like apologetic as fuck this whole time. Like, I'm sorry. Like I kind of ruined the whole fucking thing. Like, luckily for me, she wasn't sitting at the table when I started throwing up. Like, so like she didn't really see that. She just saw like the after effects. Because like I said, she went to go get another plate. So I just kind of sat there. I cleaned myself off, went to the bathroom, and I kind of sat there, just let her finish her fucking food. It was fucked up because like she paid, and like I had basically 2 bites of a sausage, and that was it. Like, and I was so like apologetic and all of this other stuff. And I was just like, look, I'm just going to pay for my part since I fucked everything up. And then I just felt bad because like, you want to hang out with your people and then like something happens to you and you kind of ruin everything. Like, it wasn't like it was a date and I kind of ruined the date, but it was just like, hanging out with your people and we go.
Well, it's not really your fault. I mean,
yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly.
It's not like it's your intention,
Yeah, but I was still apologetic because I felt like I ruined the whole thing. And like there was some place that she wanted to go after. We were supposed to go to another store that was near there, and all this kind of stuff. And it was just like, no, I'm getting you home. And I was just like, okay. Like I was like, I'm okay now. Like if you want to go to the store, I'll just go in the store, do your thing. I'll be okay. And it was just like, nah, dog. I'm taking you home. So I came home and like I didn't throw up again, but I still had bathroom issues, and like
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. Because my rule of thumb is like, if you throw up and then you feel better, it's probably something you ate. If you throw up and you still not really feel good, it's probably a bug because
yes, it was definitely some sort of stomach virus. And so like I was up here because I didn't want to go watch TV downstairs and then have to rush up the fucking stairs to go to the bathroom because I mean at one point it was like my butt was peeing. That was TMI, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm honest with you people. Okay, for the people who just said, "Who the fuck you calling you people?" I didn't mean it that way. But like it was just bad. It was just a bad situation, and I felt so terrible. And like I had to fucking, like I didn't know if any of it got behind me because it was all like kind of sitting in my lap and then on the bottom of my shirt. So like I'm having to sit on my jacket because I don't want to fuck her car up. You know what I mean? It's just like fucked up shit that was happening, and I felt so horrible. And like came here, and then I just kind of was like, oh, I guess I'm gonna sit upstairs for a minute just to make sure that I'm good enough to go downstairs. And I fucking fell asleep. And this is like after breakfast time, and like we came all the way back here, and then I fell asleep, and I woke up at like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, like I don't know. It's just like I like fucked my whole day up. Like everything about yesterday just seemed kind of fucked, and I still as of right now I still feel terrible. I feel really bad, but like you said, it wasn't my fault. It was just like some sort of bug or whatever like that. But like I felt fine up until we were on the way there, and like had we been somewhere closer to home, I would have been like, "Yo, you turn around real quick." Like I said, the place was like 30 minutes away. Because like all of the Shoney's closed, so like we had to travel to go to Shoney's, and I felt horrible. Now I'm trying to get some get back. Like when I feel better, we going back to fucking Shoney's, and I'm gonna eat double what I'm supposed to eat because I need to make up for last time. Yeah, I gotta make up for last time. But yeah, that shit was so fucking embarrassing. And like, luckily, nobody really saw me. Everybody was just kind of in their own world or whatever like that in Shoney's. And where we was sitting wasn't anybody looking directly at me. So I kind of felt a little bit better by that. But like, man, listen, that shit was still fucking embarrassing. It was very fucking embarrassing. And yeah, that's what happened to me. Okay, I got it off my chest. I feel better now.
Yeah, it's good.
I feel lighter now. Kind of how I felt after I threw up. I feel lighter now.
Guys, when does this Turtles beat 'em up game come out? I've got no one knows.
I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
There's a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up coming out for Xbox.
Oh yeah, I don't know nothing about that. All right, so what has everybody played really quickly because we're almost an hour.
I'll tell you what I haven't played. I haven't played the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles beat 'em up.
Okay, that's cool. What have you played?
Absolutely nothing. No, I started playing Stardew Valley.
Okay, I think my daughter plays that.
It's a lot. It's like I see how people can put hours and hours into it. It's a lot. It's a lot to start and get into because I've seen what other people's farms look like, and I'm like, yo, that shit will not look like mine anytime soon.
Okay,
but it's fun. It's a nice, relaxing little game. But it looks like it could be a lot.
I don't know anything about it. I've seen my daughter play it, but I mean, this shit looks too fucking. I don't know whether you call it 8-bit, 16-bit. It looks a little too pixel art for me.
Okay.
Anything else you been playing?
Just the usual stuff. Just whatever.
Okay. Chase him up?
Yeah, man. Still doing Crisis 3. I haven't really played it that much. I don't really think I like it as much as I did Crisis 2, but it's been a long time since I played that, so maybe it's just been too long. But it didn't grab me like it did Crisis 2. But I'm still going to finish it. It's not very long. And I got back into playing Mass Effect, so playing Mass Effect 2 right now. Because mainly I've started playing it because I wanted to play something when I was in a game chat with the gaming vessels guys and whatnot, and I wanted to play something that wasn't too intense, and I knew it was going on, so I didn't really I could half pay attention. You know what I mean? So
right,
but that's been good.
That's why I think we play sports games.
Yeah, but that's been good. I streamed that. Like I was like, hey, well, I'll stream, and I stream that, and then the same way where I'm able to put our Discord in, like right here for the podcast. I was like, I can do that same thing when I'm streaming and I'm in a game chat. So everybody's videos was in my stream, and then Trader Joe started streaming in Discord that new Diablo type Destiny type service game, and then that was on my stream. So there's a stream inside of a stream. So that was like kind of like some streaming.
What profile were you under? You wasn't going to YouTube, was it?
Oh, it was on Crucial Chase, like my regular one.
The YouTube?
Oh, the Twitch.
Oh yeah.
But the problem I pushed it to YouTube though.
But yeah, I don't think I saw it in YouTube, but I'll take a look. The problem with Twitch is there's no Twitch app for the TV, and most of the apps that I watch are just on the TV. Like I have to actually turn on one of my consoles in order to go to Twitch.
Yeah, I noticed that too because you have a Roku TV.
Yes.
Yeah, that sucks that Twitch is on Roku. I mean, every fucking other thing is on Roku except for Twitch. I don't know what that's about. Even Amazon, like you would think is that Amazon thing, but Amazon Video's on there.
Yes.
So I'm like, why isn't Twitch on there? Doesn't make any sense.
Yes, it does. It doesn't. It makes absolutely no sense. All right. No Destiny talk.
No, I haven't played it in a week, so yeah.
Okay.
But that's me and Destiny. I like play it for a straight week, and then I'll take off a week. Very like that.
I've been playing like old stuff. I've still been playing a lot of Division with my homeboy. We're still in there. We're still doing a lot. The other homeboy that we started new characters for went on vacation, so he hasn't come back yet. So we haven't played those characters yet again. But we've just been in there, just kind of like grinding. Like doing stuff, trying to get like new exotics and all of that kind of stuff. It's been real cool having someone to play that with. But on my own, I've played some City Skylines on Xbox, and I realized that the Xbox is. I played it on Xbox before. I played it on PC before because I have it on PC, and like the Xbox is very difficult to try to navigate and kind of do things. Like you can't do anything nearly as fast as you can with a mouse.
Well, that's even pretty daunting on PC to control it. So
I mean. I've watched a lot of people play, so it's one of those things to where I'm not nearly as good as the people that I watch play, but like I still know how to play the game, and like this shit was just daunting. I started a new playthrough, and I was just kind of fucking around one day when I wasn't playing anything else. Like I wasn't playing the Division that day, so it was like, all right, come on, let's just get in and do some shit. So it's a little weird, but. It's kind of a thing. I got back into NBA Live 19. I really like that game, but it was I wanted to play something like what you said. Like if I'm doing something else or just listening to a podcast or something like that, I typically play sports games. So I went back to Live 19, and that was fun. I did that because I was on the phone a lot, talking to my homeboy and just doing stuff. So I was like, you know what, let me play a sports game, and I'm getting ready to start. To learn how to play NHL, but I want to play like the story mode where you're just that one character, kind of like the same way that I play live. So I'm gonna try that because there's a trial. The EA Access part of Game Pass, there's a trial for the new NHL, so I'm gonna do that. Just kind of fucking around, just with something to do. And if you have Amazon Prime, they gave away Madden for PC for like free. If you could they give you a code and you just put it in the Origin. They gave Madden 22 away for free.
Oh yeah.
Blue put that in the Discord. So I did that and I redeemed it, but I don't think I'm gonna play it on PC, but I have it in my Origin library. In case I do want to try to play it on PC, because I don't know if my PC can handle it, but my Xbox can. So if I'm playing on the Xbox more than likely. And there was something else that I played and I cannot think about it, so I'm just gonna let it go. Anything anybody watched? I know I got one thing that I watched that was new. I watched Raised by Wolves. It's a HBO show. It is a weird fucking show. It is super weird. And I saw like a preview while I was going through my YouTube stuff. I saw like a preview for Raised by Wolves, and I'm just kind of like, okay, let's give this a shot. And I watched the whole season in a day. And then the next day I watched what has been released from the second season, because it's still active right now. I think they still got a couple more episodes left. And I'm like really interested in how this is going to go. It's one of those shows kind of is not losty, but it's very kind of like things come up and you're just like, how the fuck is this going to be explained? It's a very kind of religious versus atheism type of deal. Is to deal with a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of, it's just all over the place. But I found it to be very interesting. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's the only new thing that I've watched other than the things that I normally watch every week. Anybody get anything else?
Oh, I checked out, watched Peacemaker.
I finished Peacemaker. I like the show. Pretty good.
It's although I don't know how they feel about them turning Vigilante into Deadpool.
Yeah, that's basically what they did. They turned Vigilante into Deadpool, but like Vigilante and Tasty are like the best parts of that show.
Who the hell is Tasty?
She the black chick. She played a character named Tasty in Orange is the New Black.
I was like, wait, is this like something I missed?
Yeah, I call her. I still call her Tasty because that's where I know her from. She's Tasty from Orange is the New Black. But yeah, I really liked her character. In like that last episode where she gets busy, I like that.
I was like, man, they actually make me feel bad for John Economos. He's like in the comic books, he's the warden for like one of the prisons.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I really like that. I really like the show. I'm not one of those people that likes to watch the intro every fucking time. It's just like, okay, it was funny. It was funny the first time, but I'm not about to watch this shit over and over again.
No, I watched it once only because like I would always do the skip, but then like at the end of it, they would always show like the last like 2 seconds or whatever, and they showed a judo master jumping up in the Peacemaker's arms. Yeah. And I'm like, what's that about? And I finally, in the finale, I was like, well, let me watch this whole thing. Okay, that was funny, but I would not want to watch that every time.
During the whole thing, I thought that it was a kid playing judo master. That's a grown-ass man.
No, that's an adult.
Yeah, that's a grown-ass man. I thought it was a kid playing judo master, and I looked it up, and I was just like, where's the kid? Like, who plays judo master? And it was a grown-ass man. It just looked like a little kid.
He's like, activate human torpedo, or human whatever. That was fucking hilarious.
No spoilers. Chase ain't seen it.
Both times. That was hilarious.
Chase ain't seen it, but that was hilarious. Do you have HBO, Chase?
Not at the moment.
Okay. One of those things like I do with Stars, where I would turn it on when power was on, and then I turn it right back off when it was over.
Right, yeah. I just like paused it for a little bit.
Okay. I'm with you there.
Definitely check that out, Chase. It's really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And now that all of the episodes are available, you can turn your shit on, watch it all real quick, and then fucking turn the shit back off. I mean, for real, that show is single-handedly saving how I feel about the DCEU.
That's probably like the most DC show or anything that they've had lately.
Yeah. And it took a Marvel dude. It took a Marvel dude to make it.
Exactly.
You got anything new, Chase?
I'm good.
Nothing new? You just ain't been watching nothing, or?
Well, I mean, I've been watching the Lynch stuff, but I don't give a shit about that.
The what?
He watches David Lynch for his other shows.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't know. I'm. It's not like I don't care. It's just I don't know anything about that. I've never had a like. It was like I should watch this David Lynch movie right now. Like that's never happened to me.
My thing on David Lynch is that it's supposed to be artsy and stuff, but I'm guessing it's too sophisticated for me because I'm like, I don't.
Actually, it's not. Like that's the thing is like Lynch is different. Like there's like your bullshit artists that are trying to like make something. You're like, that's funny, but it's not supposed to be funny. If there's something funny in a Lynch movie, he's trying to be funny.
I don't get it. Like, I mean, I'm never gonna get any of this stuff.
But
it's just not for me, I guess. Like I tried watching Twin Peaks, and I was like, the acting in this show is just like weird. Like they're like autonomous robots. Everybody in the show.
I don't know if I've ever watched any of that stuff.
Just because, like, when they find out that the girl is dead or whatever, everyone's reaction when they hear the news is like if you told a robot that someone died.
He also had
the robot was trying to emit emotion. That's what it feels like.
Think of it as also sort of satirizing soap operas.
It was just like, I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do this show. And I tried to watch Eraserhead. I was like, this is not for me. I'm not the audience for this show, for this movie.
Eraserhead's just like a anxiety dream, basically.
Uh-huh.
He made that.
I have enough of those. I don't need to see someone else go through that.
He made that before he was becoming a father, and
just like the Coen brothers made that one movie about Hollywood. Did you ever see that one?
I have it. I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah, that one. Barton Fink.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I have seen that. I do like that.
Just like that's like supposed to be like a weird subliminal thing about Hollywood, the Hollywood machine. Yeah.
Yeah. For some I got it mixed up. I thought you were talking about the Tarantino movie about Hollywood, but yeah, the newest one.
Right.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
No, I've not watched that. I've not watched that.
But
I really cooled off on Tarantino. I just like,
But yeah,
I just saw the most insightful thing that I have seen on Facebook ever. Someone made this and I shared it. So if you're a Facebook friend of mine, you're going to see this. It said Kid Rock makes music for people who know the exact legal amount of Sudafed you're allowed to buy at Walgreens. That's so accurate. That's so accurate. And I used to like Kid Rock until he changed.
I was never a fan. Never.
I was a fucking fan.
The only props I ever gave him was when I found out he smashed Midori.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what. Nah.
But now he doesn't like black people anymore. It's weird.
Didn't he say something about Rihanna or something, or was that someone else?
No, he was talking. He talked some dumb shit about Beyonce.
There you go.
He likes women who he basically he said he doesn't like Beyonce because he likes women who looks more like meth heads. Basically what he said. I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but Beyonce is not what he likes. He likes, meth head looking chicks. So, you know what? You can have it. With the exception of the fact that he has a black son.
Right.
He doesn't seem to like black people very much. So I really want to know what his son thinks about all of it.
He's like, yo, man, you seen that chick? She got them cheek dimples. You know, the one that's like,
she's got Nositol.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Martin fans that got that joke. I'm not going to explain it. She got Nositol.
I knew it before then, or before I saw it on Martin, because I had a friend that used to say that all the time, and I was like, okay.
They put Martin is on a streaming service, ain't it?
I saw it recently. It's on something that I've seen, like HBO Max or something. What are those?
I think it may be HBO Max because I know Fresh Prince is on HBO Max.
Have y'all seen that Bel Air?
I have not.
I have no interest in watching that. None.
I've seen All American, so I don't.
Yeah, I saw a promo for All American. I thought it was for Bel Air.
And I think Family Matters is on HBO Max. A lot of those kind of cable shows are on HBO Max, but that were actually owned by HBO, but now they're like buying them up. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, a lot of those shows were being syndicated by UPN, and like that eventually changed to like the CW, which HBO kind of owns.
Oh, okay.
Well, they also own the Warner. Well, I think they're owned by Warner Media. So whatever Warner Brothers has, they also have that.
Yeah, because it was the WB at first, right? It was UPN, and then it changed to the WB, and then it changed to the CW.
The WB, remember the frog?
Yeah. I don't want to say very much more because the more I say about that, the older I seem.
Okay.
So yeah, I remember the WB frog.
Oh, well, Plex has a music only app called Plex Amp, and it's always reminding me of how old I am. Because every time there's an album that has a birthday, it'd be like released 25 years. This day is this album, which is like, oh, their new one's now 25 years old.
Dude, yeah. I turned on the oldie station not that long ago. They were playing Sugar Ray every morning.
Wow.
I'm like, bro, you know how old that is.
That wasn't even a good Sugar Ray song.
Yeah, that's Fly. But no, I liked Every Morning. I thought it was cool. But Fly was much better. But no, every morning came out after I graduated high school.
Yeah, before it's funny with Sugar Ray, before like their singles and stuff, they were actually a pretty heavy band.
So you're about to tell me that you like All Star?
Before they were cool.
Is that what you're about to say? You about to say you like All Star? You like Pretty Fly for a White Guy? Like it is that's kind of the realm that we're talking about here.
That's Offspring.
No. But I'm saying that's the kind of realm of music that we're talking about here.
Yeah, I know.
So, like
my favorite Sugar Ray song is when Sugar Ray is cosplaying as Weezer. They have a song on the Scream 2 soundtrack called Rivers, which is the name of the lead singer of Weezer, and they made a song in the style that Weezer would make, and it's decent.
I can't remember what podcast I listened to a long time ago, and they had that dude, the lead singer of Weezer, on a video game podcast, and they were talking about their association with Rock Band and putting their music and stuff on Rock Band, and that guy was a total dickhole. Like, he was just like, I don't really play video games, so I have no idea what you're talking about. I just license the music. Like, I don't play video games. I don't, like, why did you agree to be here, dog? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he came off as like such a dickhole.
But you would think the nerdy band would be the one that be in the video games, or is he so nerdy that he doesn't do video games, just D&D?
He probably does a lot of D&D, a lot of Magic, you know.
I stopped listening to Hashpipe after that, because that used to be my shit. Hashpipe is my shit, dog. And I was like, man, I can't even fuck with you no more.
Dude, I saw them live, and Hashpipe, I don't know if they decided to like use 7-string guitars or something, but Hashpipe was the heaviest motherfucker live. It was just like dum, 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 dum. We were like, what the fuck is this song? And he started playing Hashpipe. I was like, Jesus Christ.
That sounds pretty amazing, because I really do like that song, but that guy was such a dickhole on that podcast. I think it was one of the IGN podcasts, the one that Garnet used to host or something like that. I think they had him on around because they released like a whole album on Rock Band, and like it was just a horrible fucking interview. Like, the guy, he wasn't even trying. Kind of like if you buy the Halo 3 Cat Helmet edition, where they have the thing where they're doing like a commentary, and Jason Jones clearly doesn't want to fucking be there that day. That guy who used to be, I don't know if he still is, but the guy who used to be one of the heads of Bungie, he was around the time when Bungie started. He clearly didn't want to fucking be there, and he drags the whole fucking room down. But like, I felt compelled to watch it all because I spent $130 fucking on this edition of Halo 3. And you know what I mean? Like, my ex-wife gave me the rest of the money to buy the Cat Helmet edition, because at first I was just going to buy the middle one, the Steelbook one.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, no, I got you. And she gave me the rest of the money to buy the fucking Cat Helmet edition. So it came with that other disc with all of this stuff. And Jason Jones absolutely drags that whole fucking shit down. And you're just kind of like, dog, if you didn't want to fucking be here, don't fucking be here. I don't know if he's still around for Destiny, but never let that fucking guy talk about Destiny. Never. I mean, no one should talk about Destiny because of their really shitty business practice of, shelving shit that motherfuckers are paid for. That part, I can't get down with that. I just can't. Like, yeah. If when this shit came out, if I paid full money for this expansion of a game, when you release another expansion, you're just like, yeah, that money that you spent is gone. I can't fucking ride with that. I can't ride with that. I just can't. And like, I was cool with Destiny when they had it on Game Pass and they had all of that stuff. Hopefully they put it on PlayStation Game Pass, whatever that ends up being, and put all of the expansions on there. That would be nice. I
don't know if I said it on the podcast, but I think I might have just been saying it like when we were just talking. But yeah, I'm not down with that shit either. And it was like, I was like going back and forth in my head. Like, but when I played the new expansion, I was like, man, I don't like this practice. But this new expansion is fucking good. I don't know how I feel about this.
Yeah, but a lot of people are saying that it's the best content so far.
I think it would be easier to swallow if it was actually a subscription and you were just, because that's pretty much what it is. It's just you pay once a year, and then
as opposed to paying a small bit monthly.
Yeah. So I think WoW was like $14.99 a month, which was a lot more than you're paying for Destiny. So if they made it to where, pay $3 a month, you have access to everything in Destiny at the moment, because technically that's, if you think of it in a way that they're trying to make a live world, the past is the past. You know what I mean? I know you have all this stuff where there is time travel in Destiny.
And they have stuff like that in like World of Warcraft. Like they come up with some new shit and be like, man, this old shit, it don't work for us no more. So like, yeah.
Because I get it.
Think about it.
I get it. The main reason is, one of them is your install size, right? You don't want a 200 gig game. Two, some of it's on, like, every time they release a patch or a new content, they're having to make sure it don't fuck up the old shit.
Yeah, and like if you install Destiny without the stuff, because my homeboy told me that he wanted to play, so I downloaded Destiny on the S, and holy fuck, the download size for just Destiny without all of the other expansions that they had on Game Pass is like 90 fucking gigs by itself on Xbox.
Well, actually, that's everything. How Destiny works is you just download it, and then when you buy it, you just get access to it. So that way, they do the Capcom thing, where they sell you some shit that you already downloaded, or they sell you some shit that's already on the disc.
You're gonna unlock it.
Yep.
Right, but since it's even, that sounds weird, but even though it's on the disc, you don't own it. You haven't paid for it. You know what I mean? But
technically, you don't own any of this shit.
But I know that, and that's why the digital future is really problematic, and people that have Nintendo are seeing that now. The stores are getting shut down, and now you can't fucking buy new shit. You can still download their shit, but I'm a soul. Like back in the day, I subscribed to eMusic. Before you had Spotify and stuff, you would buy stuff off this site called eMusic. That company's gone. I can't access that shit unless I burn it to a CD.
Right.
That
sucks.
Even if you have a physical media, you still own just a license, but at least you have a backup to where if someone goes out of business, you still have your shit.
Yeah, I'm only all in on the digital future when it comes to music and video games. Everything else, I'd rather have a disc. Like if I was really into watching movies like that, I would probably buy more movies.
Well, games look great digitally, but movies, it will always look better on the disc. You stream it 4K, it's still gonna look better on that 4K Blu-ray. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm with you there. So, yeah, it's crazy, but I don't know. All right, so I think that's the show. Anybody got anything else, or are we good?
No, we're good.
We good.
All right, so thank you to everybody that's checking us out. We appreciate y'all. We need to really, really, really get to like seriously brainstorming, watching and playing some stuff for the show. Like I know we say that periodically, but we really need to do that. And also, we need to brainstorm if we're going to do August, April, because it's March. I'm like, holy fuck, it's already March. So if we're gonna do that, then we need to start getting some signups and all of that kind of stuff ready, or just figure out if we're really gonna do this.
Well, if you're gonna plan to do something like that, have it be a show a week. Only because if you don't, it'll just have you.
We do a show.
Two guests. Yeah,
we do a show a week for August.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be weekly. It would definitely be weekly for April.
Yeah.
And then we'll do it again for August. Like. I don't have a problem with that. It's just like, with other show commitments like Return to Oswald and stuff like that. It's hard to try to get a bunch of this stuff done. I have no issues with it. I actually recorded something. I put it up on YouTube. I had something on my heart that I wanted to talk about because I saw something in a father's group that I'm in, and they were this guy did some sort of like thing where he was like, his son was trying to be like some sort of gangster rapper, so he decided to come up with a rap of his own, and these dudes were like championing this shit, and I'm just like, yo, be careful with this shit, because this shit can turn real fast. Like that kid back in the day who was trying to be in a gang, and his uncle did like a Facebook Live or something like that and whooped him with a belt on Facebook Live, and that boy died a couple of months later because now after being embarrassed he had to go harder in order to try to stay with his friends because he got embarrassed on fucking Facebook Live. So like be careful. Like your child needs to hear you, not the internet. Like that type of thing. Like you need to be a parent to your child and to your child only. It was that made me, just turn the camera on. And just, I was sitting right here and I recorded a little something, and I tell about my situation that I had, when the internet turned on me, after I did some fuck shit after my separation when I was not in my right mind. I did some fuck shit, and then like where I was being championed for a while, and then something happened and everything switched up, and the people who were cheering me on was now telling me how fucking bad I was for doing what I was doing, and that was like the last straw of me putting anything like that onto the internet. Like that type of stuff. Like I don't talk about relationship stuff that much. I tell y'all like, that I had a breakup or something like that, but I don't really tell y'all niggas why. Like that type of stuff. I tell y'all because like y'all my people. But I'm not really gonna like go into detail and explain some shit. And like, and that's the reason why, like I say, I hang out with my ex sometimes, and we ain't got no issues with doing that, like that type of stuff. But I recorded that. I did not publish it. I didn't make it public yet, but I really want to put this out there because there was a couple of other instances that I didn't speak on of people putting too much online, like kind of what Kanye is doing right now. Like Kanye is doing the fucking most. And I didn't really speak on that. I just kind of spoke from my personal experience and like what happened to this.
There is a thing called like you can be too transparent. Is what I was trying to say.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And that's like, through my last relationship, that relationship lasted like 7 fucking years, and my Facebook status still said I was single. I never changed it because I didn't want nobody to go bother her about it and nothing like that. It was just kind of fucked up. And I really changed my approach to social media after that happened to me, and I made a mistake. I explain it all in the YouTube video. I'll put it into the the Discord. There we go. That's the word. I'll put it into the Discord so that y'all can see it before I actually publish it. But it's just kind of like one of those things. I'll put it in the Discord now. So it's in the Discord now. And like I kind of had that on my heart, and I was just kind of like, yo, be fucking careful about this internet shit. The internet don't love you. Like, you know what I mean? Like most of the people who you think is your friend that are like your internet friends, a lot of them are waiting to see you fucking fall. And you really have to be careful about that. Like most people that are egging you on, they're just trying to see how far you can go to add to their own fucking enjoyment.
Hold on.
What happened?
I'm just getting a lot of bling bling.
Okay, I ain't hear no bling bling. That was all in your way. So, but yeah, so I did that. Go to the Discord to see it for now. I'm gonna publish it at some point. And there was a couple of instances that really made me really think about this, but I didn't talk about everything. I just wanted to talk about these few examples to just try to give people an idea of like how far this can actually go. And like in my case, it was just some embarrassment. In that young man's case, he ended up dying because he got embarrassed by his uncle on social media, and he had to go harder to prove that he was about it to his friends, and he ended up dying getting shocked a couple of months later after that embarrassment from his uncle because he had to go harder. Like if his uncle would have just did that for him and didn't put that video up, he probably would still be here.
Right.
So yeah, I did that, and it's on my YouTube page, Scarfinger Hood Rich, and I think you should check it out. It was just something that was just on my heart that day, and so I let it go. And I just really needed to talk that day. And I planned on doing this for a while, just kind of picking a topic and just kind of talking about it. But like that there's a few things that happened that made me want to talk about that day. Some I can't really speak on, but the rest of it was just kind of like, yo, be careful about this internet shit, people. Like, this shit'll get you fucked up. And like where you think that you're doing something great, and really it's just a bunch of people just talking shit about you when you're not around. So there's that. It's in the Discord. It will be published later, maybe in a day or so. So if you want to see it first, Discord.
Yeah, man.
And I think we got it. Go to the Discord. The link is in the episode description. Or the show notes, whatever you want to call them, is a little weird when you start talking about that stuff versus, the podcast versus like your YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So go. If you haven't been in the Discord, you should sign up for the Discord. We do talk periodically there. Sometimes it's like a little quiet, but then when it pops off, it really pops off, and we just start talking about some shit. So go to the Discord, because that's probably going to be the best place to actually like really interact with us, as opposed to social media or or the website or anything like that. Because I'm not paying for that website next year. I'm not. Well, I'm not paying for the domain. The website is free. It's a blogger website. So it's not really like doing a whole lot. But yeah. So go to Discord, because that's the best place that you can reach us there.
All right, man.
All right. Thank y'all again for checking us out. We appreciate y'all. And we'll be back in your ear holes in 2 weeks. Hopefully during that 2 weeks, we're going to talk about the August. We got to find a cool name for it, because August works, but we got to find something cool to call April. I'm kind of blanking on the name, but we're going to talk about that between now and the next show. We're going to have an idea of whether we're going to do it and how we're going to do it.
April shower with us?
That's definitely going to get us Me Too'd.
Well, what if it was not that kind of shower?
That's definitely going to get us Me Too'd. No matter what kind of shower you think of, I'm pretty sure that's going to get us Me Too'd. Except for if it was like a baby shower or something like that. That's kind of the only shower that I think that's not going to get us Me Too'd. But like, how will we relate that to what we're going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Like, we can say Me Too. We can try not to get Me Too'd, but I think that's definitely a Me Too type situation. Telling people to shower with us. We got 2 weeks to come up with an idea, so we're gonna come back to y'all in 2 weeks and tell y'all what the idea is. But of course, Discord people are gonna know first, so join Discord. Shout out to all the homies. Shout out to the couple patrons we got. Appreciate y'all, and we'll be back in your ear holes in 2 weeks. Peace out to the Warriors, y'all.
Later.
I like that shit, yeah, boy. Look, I'm telling you, Whoa. I'm telling. All right, I ain't gonna talk.